Hey guys, I know you clicked on an ROR2 video and you're seeing a racing game right now, but just hold on a second. I am currently holding a competition for who can get the best times on 5 maps I made in Trackmania. If you are interested in joining and the possibility of winning a $25 Steam gift card, then I encourage you to join the Discord in the description below and check out the announcement channel to get started. Happy hunting, and now onto your regularly scheduled Risk of Rain content. Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. A few weeks ago, I posted my Risk of Rain 2 common items ranking, and you all seemed to enjoy it. So today, we are moving right along to ranking all of the uncommon items, from worst to best. A very important reminder before we get into it, these rankings are based on personal preference and fun, far more than their actual use. While a stronger item will likely get a higher ranking for being better, things like a funny name or a satisfying effect will also significantly help an item's spot. That being said, I would still like to hear your thoughts about my rankings and your own rankings below. If you enjoy the video, consider subscribing, and without further ado, let's get into it. Starting off, we have my mortal enemy. I've never bullied someone, but if the Old War stealth kit was a person, its lunch money would be mine. This item is so pathetic and weird and niche, and I just feel bad whenever I find it in my run. One power elixir does this item's job far better, and other than maybe one time 3 years ago, this item has never done anything for me. This misery has earned it my 30th spot. Number 29 is the Leeching Seed. I'm sorry to any Leeching Seed lovers, but unless you have a ton of this item, it does a whole lot of nothing. When I need healing, it's probably while I'm running away from something, and it's just so much better to have a constant healing than this weird niche item that has the prerequisite of shooting someone. Number 28 is the Bandolier. Now, I'm aware that this item has a very dedicated fan base, however, it is boring as hell. This item adds a ton of visual noise to the game, and it gets annoying quickly. Yes, I won't lie that the Bandolier has helped a few times, but I don't know, I just don't like it, okay, sue me. In our 27th spot is the Hunter's Harpoon. I like this item, in Simulacrum. In a normal run, however, it throws off the pacing of your movement a lot and rarely comes in when I need it to. If you have a really good damaging build that constantly procs things, the Harpoon will almost move you too fast and too inconsistently as you kill everything. Number 26 is the Squid Polyp. I love this little guy, however, until you stack at least 5 of them, it doesn't help that much. The thing that keeps this item from being lower is two things. One is it takes attention away from you, and two is if you get enough, it deals a bunch of knockback to enemies and can be really funny looking. Number 25 is an item I felt a bit guilty for placing so low because it has saved me a couple of times. The Lotus Flower, it's just niche, but when it does help, it really helps. This item is another one I far prefer to see in Simulacrum, but that's because teleporter fights in the normal game are really not that much of a percentage of your total run, so whatever. In the 24th spot is the Chronobobble. This item is almost completely useless. However, I think it's funny, and it helps activating death marks, so that's about it. Other than that, slowing enemies really isn't that useful, and this is one of the items that I will always take its Void variant over the original. In our 23rd spot, speaking of the death mark, we have the death mark. I would like this item. However, I think the way it stacks is lame. If it were to increase the damage, then it would be great, but after like 5 stacks, I don't need any more, as no enemy takes that long to kill. It's also really not that worth it for how difficult it is to proc sometimes. Moving quickly along to number 22 is the Red Whip. Moving fast out of combat is helpful, and 40% is no laughing matter. However, I would just prefer to just be fast all the time. This item is silly and not very useful, until those times when you finish the TP fight and want to get to all the items you missed quickly. 21st goes to the Fuel Cell. This item is a complete toss-up for me. It is either super fun to have if you are making a build around an equipment, or it's just there. Maybe helpful so you don't have to wait for your Ahoy cooldown, but other than that, this item is boring as hell and I don't like it. Top 20 is brought to you by the Warhorn. This item has honestly helped me more than I give it credit for. It's a bit niche, and working with your equipment is fun, but this has the problem the Deathmark had, where it doesn't stack that well and has a weird prerequisite to begin with. Number 19 is for the Predatory Mask. I like this item, it's cute, but as was with the Red Whip, I just want attack speed all the time. There isn't much to say about this item. I like where it's coming from, but again, it's just better to have constant attack speed. Number 18 is the Berserker's Pauldron. Another item that I want to like here, but this This one instead shares its downside with the Hunter's Harpoon. To put it simply, I don't like working for my items in order to make them do things. Being fun to play around with and being a chore to activate are two different things, and the Berserker's Pauldron falls into the former. 17th goes to the Rose Buckler. This item has the most brain rot, 40 armor good item, and I love it. I used to hate this item, but now that I've played for a while, it's actually super helpful when combined with an opal and some movement speed abilities. 16th spot is given to our favorite boy, 8 Leeching Seeds. I mean, the Harvester's Scythe, of course. And I don't know, this item gives off a certain vibe that I enjoy greatly for some reason. It's not even that good, it just feels good, you know? 15th spot is for your actual favorite boy, the Infusion. This item is just cool and fun to get. It doesn't stack all too well, but this item exists to do one important thing: completely invalidate the Bison Steak further than it already was, and I love that. Number 14 is given to the shipping request form. Here we go again with the whole doing chores to get my item to do something thing again. I like this item more though, because when I find it, it feels good, and it also stacks really, really well in multiplayer. I don't remember how it works exactly, but I know that stacking them between players is somehow better than having one player carry all of them, and that's really cool. Razor Wire cuts its way into the 13th spot. Now, you know how I am with prerequisites, especially damage-based ones. However, unlike the Roll of Pennies, this item is genuinely helpful for proccing things in a pinch, and that one engineer build where you become immortal complements this item perfectly. 12th is for the Wax Quail. This item is just sweet. It makes dodging much easier on survivors that don't have movement abilities, and also, paired with some movement speed in the Head Stompers, it allows you to do Pillar Skip, which is my favorite, because Pillar sucks. Cut out of the top 10, in our 11th spot, is the Guillotine. Satisfying is the best way to describe this item, as sometimes elites will absolutely ruin your run. It stacks well, too. While it's obviously hyperbolic stacking, it still practically cuts all elite enemies' health bars in half without having to do anything, which I don't think anyone can argue with. 10th place is for the Will-o'-the-Wisp. I ranked Gasoline second on my commons list, so it would only make sense that I put its best friend high as well. This item isn't as reliable as Gasoline, but I still think that it's so much fun to see the chain reactions it causes. Number 9 is Runald's Band, which is flatly overpowered. This item does so much damage, I just wish hitting it would be a little bit more satisfying. Paired with a loader main, this item is banned in many countries, and I love it for that. 8th place goes to Kajaro's Band. This item is just really cool. I mean, come on, who doesn't want a fire tornado? This item is a little less consistent than Runald's, but like, I don't know, it's more satisfying. Number 7 is for the Hopu Feather. The name of the game here is avoiding fall damage. Fall damage is evil, and one of these items makes you completely immune as long as you jump at the right time. Enough of these and you can effectively fly, and it is one of the best ways to escape a fight, as most enemies will have to path weirdly to get to you. 6th place is given to the Shuriken, which single-handedly won my love recently, as I had no idea how good it was when you stack it. Starting at 400% damage is crazy enough, but it also increases with every stack, and that's super fun. This item procs the bands, and just does so much work on its own. It's the melee survivor's best friend. Top 5 is brought to you by the Gore's Tome. This item has done so much for me. It's one of the only money-earning items, and it is so cool. The cha-ching noise is satisfying, and the payoff is really helpful. Late game, this item is often the reason you aren't wasting any time paying for chests. 4th is for the Ukulele. Proc Heaven here, and I couldn't realistically place this any lower. I don't personally love this item, but it's still always welcome in my inventory. It procs other items very well, and seeing you kill a beetle across the map is so satisfying and fun. Bronze medal and 3rd place goes to the ATG missile launcher. Proc Heaven yet again here, but this time the item doesn't just proc. This item's damage stacks really, really well, and with just a few 57 leaf clovers, you'll shred any enemy. Paired with luck and an ICBM, this item is one of the best area clearings and single target damage items you'll ever see. 2nd place is for the regenerating scrap. Scrap is always super helpful, so having a guaranteed green item every level is sweet as hell. I love having these because it makes me avoid feeling guilty for losing other green items when I do scrap them. The fact it's prioritized over normal scrap is also very helpful, and I thought that that was important to bring up. And 1st place is for the ignition tank. Such a simple item with such a satisfying result. Yes, I'm aware that fire-related items aren't that common, but I mean, I ranked gasoline as 2nd. Did you really think I wasn't going to rank this highly as well? This item absolutely shreds when paired with the gasoline, and I am always ecstatic whenever I see it in my runs. So that's it. Did you agree with my rankings? Did you disagree? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. While you're down there, consider subscribing, as it helps me out a lot. Thank you to my members, Q3W3E3, Valent0725, A Brief Gamer, Shadow Chi, Supreme Furo Soap, Eggy, Nia, and The_Radiance for supporting the channel like that. If you'd like to support the channel like they did, you absolutely can, but if you don't want to support me with your money, that's always fine. You can always just like, subscribe, join the Discord, or check me out on Twitch. A reminder, I'm currently holding a Trackmania event in which you might be able to win a $25 gift card, so if you're interested in that, join the Discord down below. Anyways, thanks so much for watching, and bye-bye.